What is up, guys? Welcome to the third episode of Maverick Hockey Live podcast. It's Tuesday, it's October 1st, and that means it's officially spooky season. You got it. I'm super excited for this episode. It's going to be great. We're going to dive into Maverick Q&A, Mount Royal breakdown, and defenseman talk. Since we're talking about defenseman talk, you guys should probably know who's going to be on. We have Edwin Hookenson, Andy Carroll, and Jack McNeely. So welcome to the podcast, guys, and we're going to jump on in. All right, so I'm going to do some Maverick Q&A. So basically to get to know you, to get to know me, so the audience knows like you guys more on a personal level, and then I'm just going to like call you out kind of like pop quiz style, like Edwin, what do you like to eat? Like stuff like that, or like Jack, what's your favorite whatever. I'm going to go like that. So that's how this is going to go. All right. Edwin.
Yep. Cat
or dog? What kind of person are you?
I'm a dog guy.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I got a good dog at home, and my sister's got a couple little pups, and my one sister actually just got one like 2 days ago. So. Oh really? Yeah. So we
like turning into a girl. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, we're a bit of a dog fan. My one sister has a cat, but mostly dogs around the farm.
Mostly dogs. Nice. I have a dog. We did have a cat, but I just have a dog, and he's like my baby, and he's like 9 years old. All right. So Andy. Cat or dog?
Dog, 100%.
100%? Yep. Like no doubt in your mind?
No doubt in my mind.
All right. Like no teeter? Like
no.
If you see a cat, will you be like, oh, look, it's cute? Or will you just be like, get away from me?
Probably not. It's probably like, get away from me.
All right.
100% dogs.
There we go.
Born and raised.
Born and raised. Jack, last but not least, what are you thinking, cat or dog?
Yeah, I'm definitely a dog guy. I got a chocolate lab. Had a golden retriever when I was little too, but kind of torn now because my brother and his wife got two cats, and I kind of like them, so I don't know.
See, I'm telling you.
I was never a big fan of cats until like the last couple of years. They're kind of cool, I guess, but definitely dogs are definitely better though, for sure. Cats
are cute, like they get to like cuddle, but it's like hard because we had a cat and like 2 years ago my friend did, and it was like, oh, so sweet when it was a baby, and then it like got two, and it was like horrible. Like it was a menace. It like scratched you, peed everywhere. So I mean, it depends on what kind of cat you get. Yeah. So on to the next question. Jack, who is your favorite NHL like team?
Yeah, being a Minnesota boy, definitely the Wild. Would like to see them win a Stanley Cup someday. So
let's hope. Yeah. Actually, are we all in agreement there, Andy, Edwin?
No, I got my Avs lid on today, I think. So
I'm that hurts.
Guy. Yeah, back from the glory days of Sakic and Forsberg and Voss. So. I'm sticking with it.
That's how we were last podcast. Charlie was the only one that wasn't like a Wild fan. He obviously was like a Blue Jacket fan, and that one hurt. And
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Wild too. Born and raised.
Perfect.
Went to all the games growing up.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you got your favorite players around the league, so you enjoy watching those specific teams. But if I'd like to see one team win the cup, obviously you want to see the home team.
Oh, absolutely. I was actually looking online today, and I saw like college night, and they're like $50 a ticket for Wild games, which isn't like bad. So I will definitely have to cop and go to like 5 of them this year. So we got, are you like a home cooked meal person, a takeout, or like I guess now kind of is like a DoorDash kind of thing? So let's go with Edwin. What do you think? What do you like?
I like when my mom cooks home meals. I don't really like cooking for myself.
Okay.
If I'm by myself, I'm a lot quicker to go grab something. Just because I don't really like taking the time to make food. But if I'm at home, like on the farm, my mom makes pretty good food. So.
Okay, I feel that. I like to cook my own meals personally, just because like I don't get time though, so I like eat out a lot, right? But I do like to cook my own meals, like chicken, like sauteed vegetables. That's my jam, and maybe like a little pasta. But I'm definitely like split kind of, I guess. All right, so Andy, what's your favorite?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to go home cooked.
Yeah.
Either whether that be my parents or myself. I do enjoy cooking. Kind of just gets you away from the school, the hockey, whatever that may be. It's just kind of a nice relaxation, and be able to cook whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure.
Get a good healthy meal. So.
All right, Jack.
Yeah, you can't really beat. My dad usually cooks on the grill in the summer, so whether that's steak or chicken or whatever, that's tough to beat. But yeah, I'm kind of the same as Hook. I'm getting better at cooking food myself, but I'm more probably gonna go grab something instead of making it myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's my dad's grilling in the summer is hard to beat. So.
I feel like with you guys, especially like your guys are on the go a lot, maybe, but I feel like you just grab something or do something because you guys are really busy with like workouts and whatever. And I feel like that would be a thing, but also like cooking, I like control. So this one's kind of hard. This next question, I like found a lot of these on the web, but I think this one is like, you can take lightly or you can go like really dark with this, but like biggest regret, I guess. That was kind of weird, but like biggest regret you have in like maybe your life. And it doesn't even have to be anything. It's like I should have had like pasta today and I had like a burger and it was the worst thing ever. But so, I mean, I'll start out because this one's a little bit difficult. So I've talked in the last couple podcasts. I do track here at Bethany and I went to MSU my first year and I'm sorry guys, I hated it. Like actually, I can't go into a classroom with 200 people and like be conducive to learning. At least that was like 100 level classes, you know. So I transferred here, and that's probably my biggest mistake or regret is because I like toured here before freshman year, senior year, and I was just like, I didn't go. So that's probably my biggest mistake because then I would have had one more year of track. But all right, Andy, what do you think? It's a hard question.
Yeah, that's a really tough one.
That's why I'm like, you can go light or you can even be like, I really don't have any regrets.
You know, I guess that's a tough one, man. I guess the one for me was growing up in a small town of Northfield, Minnesota. I think I was just always so maybe focused on whether that be my academics, my athletics, my friends. Like I didn't really get to like go and like explore different teams and like meet new people. I feel like I was just kind of focused on like what I was going to do and what that was going to do for me in the future. And I'd say that's like kind of like the same thing like where I am now. Like I'd love to be able to get to more MSU games. So I think that's like the biggest thing for me like moving forward is like I want to be able to support not only the hockey team in the best way I can, but like the whole university as a whole.
Like football, soccer, and everything. Basketball.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So Jack, what are you thinking?
This is kind of like not as big as Andy's, but Jared Spooner and I are in a few of the same classes, and we had an assignment due last week, and it was my responsibility to remind him we had an assignment due in another class, and it was his responsibility for this certain class, and he didn't tell me. So that's my biggest regret is putting Jared in charge of reminding me. So note
to self, if we ever get him on and like talk about that, be like, so are you like not good at reminding people or what's going on?
It's a good learning lesson for me though, for sure. Just you can't trust Jared, so
you can't just never trust Jared. That is the one thing you take away from that situation. All right, Edwin, what do you think your biggest regret is?
You know, I took a class this summer, and it was a tough class, and I took it online. I probably should have just waited and taken it during the fall semester because it actually kind of messed up my GPA a little bit. So that was...
It's not like Edwin's smart or anything.
Right? I'm like, weren't you like WCJ like scholar athlete or something?
Yeah, but that you know what? I still have regrets about it a couple months later, so I'll use that one as my biggest regret.
Oh, definitely. Online classes are like hit or miss. Like I took one my first year here, super easy class, right? Super easy. I had one at MSU. It was like the hardest thing I've ever taken and I did not do well. So I think it's very like, you think that's going to be good and it could be bad. It could be like a real big toss up. So I feel that. So we've got a lighter one right now. We've got favorite movie. Andy, what do you think?
I got to go Miracle. I
figured.
As much as I love other movies, that's the one movie where you can press play and I can speak every single word with my eyes closed. So
okay, there you go.
I'd probably have to go with that one.
What do you guys think, Jack?
I'm definitely a comedy guy when it comes to movies. Okay. So this one's an easy one for me. Dumb and Dumber. It's my favorite. That's one I can watch every day.
It's a classic.
Yeah, it makes you laugh every time you watch it. So definitely Dumb and Dumber.
I forgot that movie existed until you said that. I was like, that's right.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's a great flick.
What are you thinking?
If I'm going like old school, you know, Shawshank is usually on TV.
Oh, yeah,
That's when, like, anytime you see it on TV, you can throw it on, even if it's halfway through. Great movie. Like, more recent one, I really like Gone Girl. You know, that's just makes you think. You know, it's a real... It's a great
movie.
That's by that book, right? Like the girl staged her own thing and blamed it on the husband. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, the book's crazy too. I read the book after I'd seen the movie and it still like shocked me. So
wow.
Yeah.
That's like, I actually, combo. Yeah, I wanted to like see that, but I haven't gotten around to it. That was a good one. My favorite one is, I don't know if you guys seen it, 4 Minute Mile. Have you ever heard of it?
Nope.
Okay, it's a running movie, but it's like really awesome because it's about this kid who's in high school and he's troubled, and then he goes and tries to like run, but he's like an 800, 400 runner and then he meets a guy that changes his life, tells him he should run miles. Spoiler, the guy dies, this like trainer dies, and then he goes out and runs a sub-minute for like $3.99 mile, and it's ridiculous. And then he goes on to like run at UCLA.
Fast.
Oh, it's insane. And like,
I'm like pumped if I get like maybe around 6.
You're like, yes.
Couldn't tell you last time I ran a mile.
Yeah. I think I might have been like 8th grade, so maybe 6 is pretty good.
Running is so like, I love running, right? But I'm crazy because a lot of the time I'll be like working on, I'm like, oh, I should go run. And I don't, because it's just so hard, especially when you're out of shape. But I mean, just like one of the things in the movie, it talks about like, it's so hard, right? But once you get past and break like a barrier, and this could happen to anything, you break a barrier that's so hard and you feel like you're like, I'm gonna die, like I'm winded, I feel horrible, and then you kind of like realize and you're like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. So I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I love it, obviously. But you should watch it. Inspirational.
Yeah. Is that based on a true story?
I think so. I actually do think it is based on a true story.
We'll have to have a little movie night.
You have to watch it. It's so good. I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore. I hope so, but that one is like, my dad referred it to me and he's like, you gotta watch this. Like, obviously he's a runner. So we're gonna go kind of like a favorite thing right now, these questions, but favorite vacation spot, whether this is like this summer or like anytime, like anywhere you've been. Jack, what do you think?
I honestly haven't been on too many vacations, but a few summers ago, we went to Destin, Florida with a bunch of my buddies from back home.
Okay.
Right on the beach, and it was a really fun week. So, yeah, I'd say Destin, Florida.
Okay. Edwin?
I've been to Hawaii a couple times with my family, and that's a pretty beautiful spot. So I'd love to go back.
Yeah, I've never been there. That's one of the places that I like really want to go. But like, aren't the sunsets there like fantastic?
Oh yeah.
Like the best.
Everything there is beautiful. It's unreal.
Gosh, I want to go and just go hiking in like the waterfall. That sounds amazing. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I've been to Maui once when I was younger, but I'd probably have to go with like the Scottsdale area.
Okay.
I like to get down there a little bit after school time.
Yep.
A couple of my buddies from junior hockey are there.
Swing the sticks a little.
What?
Swing the sticks.
Yeah, swing the sticks a little bit. We get out. Yeah, it's good. It's a really good time though. Warm.
What
you need. What you need.
Yeah, no, definitely. Last podcast we were talking and everyone's like, yeah, I don't really like vacation, like I do this, and I was like, okay, I feel like spoiled because I talked about how I've been to like different countries. I've been to like the Bahamas and this and that. So I'm really happy that you guys have like been to like exotic places and I don't feel like so outcast. Like, yeah, this is where I've been. My favorite vacation spot. It's really hard. Annually we go up to northern Wisconsin. It's called Lake Owen. And it's like crystal clear waters, like not like lakes, like crystal clear, and it's fantastic. So we go boating, we go surfing, we go everything, camping. That's probably my annual favorite spot. My favorite vacation spot I've ever been is either Jamaica or to like France. Those were two like great places. Like, and Jamaica is just crazy beautiful. So that's probably me. All right, we got a couple more. If you could eat with a famous person, who would it be? And I don't know, I mean, it can be like hockey, it can be like anyone. These are hard hidden questions, guys. Yeah, I'm making you really think because I have to think on these two. But let's go, Edwin, what do you think? Don't
call me first, please.
Please don't. Take your time, think about it. I should like put on some music, like Jeopardy style.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You know, I'm a big fan of the Spit and Chicklets podcast, so
yes.
I'd love to have a meal with Ryan Whitney and just let him talk the entire time because I think I could listen to that guy talk for hours on end. He is absolutely hilarious.
Oh, so. I love his podcast. I love the podcast. I love Barstool's podcast. I was talking, so we have this thing on here. It's like a Bluetooth. So I connect it to my phone so I can just push it up and like play anything. And I was playing Barstool podcast before you guys came in here. So that was really awesome. But that's a good pick.
You see the one that they just teamed up with Portnoy for that pizza review, and I think Biz and Ryan had the camera on them more than Dave did. And he was so rowdy. He dropped the pizza. It was hilarious. But it was one of the better ones.
I literally was like, oh my God, which one was I think it's Pardon the Take or something from Barstool, and like they had Dave Portnoy on for a little bit. Like it was Dave Portnoy and his wife, and they just talk about like, I don't know if you guys have like heard that one. They just talk about like random crap, and it's so funny. Those guys are hilarious. Great. So Andy, I'm gonna go to Andy because Jack said please don't call me.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough one. Are we talking dead or alive here? Because I've heard the question asked. Either
dead
way.
or alive.
Dead or alive. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever.
I think right now, if I had to pick anyone, it'd probably be Erik Karlsson.
Okay.
Defenseman for San Jose Sharks. I think like what he does on a daily basis and like how he trains is so unique compared to everyone, and just be able to like sit and like talk to him about hockey, like as a hockey guru, just like be able to hear what he has to say about the game and how he trains, how he prepares would be just unbelievable to hear.
Nice. Awesome. I would say I'm going to go Allison Felix is like, you guys know who Allison Felix is?
Yeah, she's the sprinter, right?
Yeah, the sprinter for there we go. Sprinter for the Olympic team. She's usually like a 400 runner. They just had the world champion, and they had like a mixed relay 4x4, right? And they won, and they got a record. And she actually like beat Usain Bolt for the record, and now has like 11 championships or gold medals. So she is like destroyed it, and she just gave birth 10 months ago. So she's definitely like my idol when it comes to track. It's ridiculous. So that's probably who I would be. Last but not least, I gave you enough time. Yeah.
Been thinking. I'm gonna go Leonardo DiCaprio. It's he's probably my favorite actor. Haven't seen a bad movie that he's in. Yeah, I'd say he's probably the best actor in the world right now. So it'd be pretty cool to be able to sit down and talk with him. So
it makes me upset because I love Leonardo DiCaprio, but I feel like he should deserve more Oscars than he has.
Yeah,
and that was like
from that.
Yeah, like he makes such good movies, and he hadn't like I think he's maybe has 1 to 2 maybe, but like it's ridiculous.
Yeah. He might get another one here this year. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a great film.
I wanted to watch that.
Yeah, great.
I was going to watch that in the summer, and I didn't.
If I throw back real quick, I'd like to make a change to Roger Federer.
Oh, okay. All right.
Tennis player.
Yeah.
Like I would say best of all time. So I'm gonna change that one.
Gonna switch it up a little bit. Ooh.
Yeah, Swiss guy. I'm gonna go with him instead.
Perfect. A little like easier. So I would say favorite social media platform: Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram.
Oh.
Yeah, think about it.
With that new repost on Instagram, it's kind of sick, but I still haven't figured out how to do it.
I don't know.
On the stories, I still don't know how to do that. No,
I do.
Post podcast.
Yes, post podcast.
I want to.
I like because I just learned. I was same as you. I was like, how is everyone doing this? Yeah. But post podcast, I'll show you.
Okay. I mean, I've liked Instagram for a few years, but I just got into Twitter like a couple months ago, and it's pretty good. I should have got into it a long time ago.
Twitter,
like, you can lose a lot of time on that because it is actually some interesting stuff.
That's my favorite platform by far. Like Twitter is fantastic because you find some stuff like just memes and everything, and it's like. It's so crazy. The content that's on there, and you can go from anything from like I do like posts about this podcast, but then I can find stuff where I'm like, what is this? It's just like a random joke. Like that one is the best. What are you guys thinking?
It's I don't know. Twitter for me is more like my news, like my newspaper kind of like it's more just staying up to date in whatever it is, sports or all that's going on in the world. And then Instagram is more probably like the most popular one right now. I don't know, it's okay, but and then Snapchat for me is more just like interacting with like my friends that I went to high school with and that I like played hockey with in the past. So you just kind of keep up and keep in contact for me. So yeah, they're all good, but they're all I enjoy.
I enjoy all of them equally.
Try to stay off it as much as I can, but
that's something I should do. I am addicted to my phone.
Yeah,
it's like because I do a lot of stuff like this, so I have to be on my phone and promote it. But I also use that as a scope gate. Like I like do my homework. I'm like, I should do stuff for like hockey. It's bad. Yeah.
Do you check your screen time?
I should do that. I don't because I don't want to.
In the past, sometimes I do, but then I like feel worse about myself. So.
That's exactly right. Same.
Do you guys like get the notifications like every Sunday night?
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah, I've been getting them like every Sunday night, and they'll say like your weekly screen report's been down like 13%. I was like, way to go.
Yeah. Wait, good job. Pat in the back.
Yeah, and then you're up like 14%. You're like,
that's not good.
No, but I'd probably have to go with Twitter on that one. I just think like you said, the variety of stuff that you can see, whether that be like different pictures. I feel like I follow more people on Instagram, but it's just, I feel like the people that I follow on Twitter maybe post more often.
For sure.
So it just gives you a little more frequent content and just helps you kind of, if you're bored or whatever, it helps you get through the day.
But I would say like for like Instagram, I post on Instagram like once a month, like not even like I don't ever post just because I'm like, I don't really care about all the likes. Twitter, I'm literally just going on to like have a laugh, like Edwin said, like it's just funny and good content. Funny. It's just good. So yeah, well, we're gonna skip out on the rest of the questions for Q&A because I feel like I got to know you guys enough, and we're gonna get into hockey. Woohoo! So we're gonna talk about. Well, first off, I'm gonna like. This is something to mention. I think I don't know if you guys probably saw, but like you guys are ranked 3rd in the nation right now, and like preseason polls and kind of stuff. I think Denver is in front of you guys, and then UMD is placed at 1st. So how you guys feeling about that? I know last podcast we talked and they're like, we don't really care that much. It's just noise in the background. We're really focused on the one main goals this year.
Yeah, I mean, preseason rankings don't mean a lot like until, really any games are played. A lot of it's probably based on last year and stuff like that. So you can't look into that too much. I mean, it's nice to see, but it doesn't mean a whole lot. It just means there's a little more of a target on your back. Like we got some good teams coming in here in the first couple of weeks, and if they see us above them in the rankings, maybe it just makes a little bigger target for us. But we're not too worried about that. We're just excited to actually get on the ice, and then that's when the rankings kind of start to look a little more real.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Yeah, I'd say like right now, kind of building off Hook, it's just a number. Like nothing's been proved yet. Teams lose players every year. Teams gain players every year. Obviously, I think as a collective whole, we feel like we got a really good squad this year. But I think the important ones are springtime. That's really the only ones that we're too concerned about right now. Obviously, we're gonna do everything we can to be up there at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
And have that number 1 spot, but it's just a number right now.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys both answered that very well.
I have nothing else to add. Please ask the next question.
I think obviously like the one like ranking that we always have to pay attention to is a pairwise to be able to get into the NCAA tournament. So I think everybody's tied right now. So whatever rankings right now is more just like a little pat on the back or anything, and it's like we just gotta get to work and focus on this Saturday. So that's all we can really focus on, and gotta get to work. So.
All right. Speaking of this Saturday, Mount Royal. So, I mean, we're going to just jump into this. Obviously, this is like exhibition game, so it doesn't count. There's nothing really going to just get your feet wet. But, I mean, mindset during those game weeks, even just talking about, even though it doesn't count, how important is it to get going on these games and get into hockey?
It's very important, for so long. All summer and even the last month and a half or whatever that we've been practicing, it seemed like the games were so far away, and now finally it's game week, and that just makes the preparation reach a whole new level. Guys are excited to finally get ready to play somebody else and hit some bodies that aren't your teammates.
So get going.
This week you can see the intensity is kind of turning up already because guys are excited to get out there and show what they can do.
Yeah, it's obviously a really, really big start for us in the exhibition. It's really important for everybody. Just getting the routine of playing a game and like the preparation that goes into it the next few days and everything. So it'll be big for us as individuals and as a team to kind of be ready for ASU coming in. So it'll be a very important game for us.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'd say since last spring, I think we've all been itching to get back out there and find a way to contribute, and I think that's, like Cookie said, it's going to ramp up. It's just going to continue to ramp up this week, and just kind of get into that weekly preparation of what it's like to be on a game week, and that prep to make sure that come usually Friday, Saturday night, but this week Saturday night, you're at your absolute best, preparation-wise, mentally, physically, to be able to contribute the best you can.
Perfect. Well said, guys. So, what do you guys do on typical game days? So, do you even like go to class? Do you just go straight down to the arena? Take me through kind of like the prep work you guys do.
I've actually been lucky. Like senior year, I haven't had a Friday class yet in my 4 years.
Wow, that's nice.
I really worked hard to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So, because I didn't want to deal with classes on game days, but I'm a Weggies breakfast guy on game days.
Okay.
Fridays I usually go with my roommates, and then Saturdays I usually go with my parents when they're here. And then we do a pregame skate early afternoon, pregame meal, either number 4 or Dino's.
Okay.
And then I go home. I have a nap. I'm a big nap guy on game days. Cup of coffee and head to the rink, and then just getting prepped from there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd probably say it's very similar. I actually had to take a Friday class first semester of last year, so my freshman year, a math course. But second semester I didn't have one, and then this one I don't have one either. So it's really nice. I get up, usually have more of my lighter breakfast, and then I go to the rink pretty early, get myself physically prepared, whatever. If I have to see our team trainer, but then pregame skate, that's just getting your puck touches, getting your feet moving a little bit, and then from there, like Hookie said, it's usually pregame meal wherever we're going, and then this is where we change. I refuse to nap. I do not nap. I cannot. I've tried it and it just never works out for me. So yeah, I'm not a nap guy. I do have a small cup of coffee before the game, and then but I'm not like a music guy in the headphones or anything like that. I'm just kind of I try and stay pretty loose before the games. I've never been a guy to just sit there and just
get in the zone.
You know, for me, getting in the zone is talking, thinking about the game, whatever, like that. But not so much the quiet, just sit in your stall. I like to get up, move around. Just helps you stay loose.
That is the opposite of me. Whenever I have meets, I have to put my headphones in, but I also am the same. I cannot talk to anyone. I have to go to where the high jump is. I have to plan everything out and do everything. So I mean, obviously different athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there gets to be a point when you're preparing for the game, after warm-ups or before warm-ups, where it's all right, dial it in. That's when I kind of go through my visualization and kind of see some stuff out on the ice. But yeah, before the game, before off ice warm-ups, I'm pretty loose, just kind of keeping the energy high.
Right on. All right, Jack?
Yeah, I like to sleep in a little bit on Fridays, and then obviously for home weekends for sure, and then usually keep it a little bit lighter in breakfast, bagel or yogurt or something, and then like the guys said, a little pregame skate for about half an hour or whatever it is, and then after pregame meal, I usually take a little bit of a nap, and I usually kind of keep to myself in the morning, kind of just focus in and not too uptight, but I kind of keep a little bit quieter, and then once I kind of get to the rink, just kind of the same routine every time. So it's just good to have something that you can depend on, and just a routine that gives you some confidence in your abilities and stuff. So yeah, it's been good. So
are you guys superstitious at all? Do you have to do the same things over and over and over again?
I am a little bit, not really. I sometimes I'll think about it. I'm yeah, you don't need to do that, or whatever. But few things, I always put my right stuff on first, stuff like that, cliche stuff. But yeah, just making sure I'm putting the same stuff in my body. I think that's the main thing. Routine for me is the same, whatever hydration, stuff in my water and stuff like that, just so I feel the same or try to. So.
I try to follow a pretty strict routine, but I try not to be too superstitious about it. I mean, I think I'd still let it happen a little bit, but I used to be a little worse, and then it kind of becomes a mental inhibitor or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've tried to take it out of my pregame routine as much as I can, but I think it still creeps in a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You hear of all that stuff, your mental coaches online, whether it be on you always see those videos on Twitter, and you got to do it feels right for you. And I try and tell myself that, but like Hookie said, it does creep back in. You try and tell yourself I don't need this, and then it's you don't do it Friday and you do it Saturday. You're I did it again. But
there it goes.
It's I think there's definitely a routine to make sure your body is always kind of feeling similar.
Yep.
But then you got to trust what needs to be done to get yourself in that prime position to compete, and sometimes that maybe something different than you're used to.
Absolutely. I think I'm you guys both said, everyone, I try not to be superstitious, but it just happens. But I do wear the same headband every single time. My red one, that's the one I go to. I wear the same right foot on, sock, then left, and I'm a very much that person. But when that doesn't happen, it's it gets pretty bad. So I think it's just really difficult to not let that happen. But I'm kind of the same way. All right. Well, that is all I got for Mount Royal breakdown for right now, and then we're gonna jump into the next topic I have, and it's gonna be probably, and the last one we do is defenseman talk. So, I mean, how obviously it's pretty different being like offensive and defensive. You guys are trying to guard your goalie. You're trying to get the puck out of the defensive zone. But once it slips in and once, you have the opposing team coming towards you, how different is that feel versus like, I've got to protect. Like, how obviously different is that? Because sometimes, defensemen do score goals, but what's kind of the feeling is like for a defenseman during a game? What's like you have to focus on kind of a deal?
I think overall as a defensive core, like everyone on our team can skate as a defenseman. So I think for us, it's most of the time about trusting our feet and trusting the other 4 guys on the ice that, they're going to do their job and that all we have to do is just, make sure that we do our job. I think like the most simple thing that I would say is probably just like make sure that no one gets inside of you, like closer to your net. And that's like a big thing that we try and pride ourselves on, and just competing. I think sometimes you can get a little maybe lackadaisical.
Okay.
At times at the youth level. But at this level, everyone's so good where, like Hookie said, like you can't take a night off in college hockey.
Yeah.
And I think that goes in every zone, especially defending. You get lackadaisical for a second, someone's going to make you look really stupid in a hurry. So.
Absolutely.
Carol kind of touched on it. I think like as a decor, we just take a lot of pride in limiting as much as we can for other teams. Obviously everybody has a little more fun in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
We've been defending for so long. I mean, obviously even before college and that kind of thing, that we know what we have to do and we know what our job is first and foremost, and that's to prevent as much as we can. Mm-hmm. And then when you get the chance to get offensive, then that's when the fun kind of happens. But
absolutely,
we take pride in our main job for sure.
Yeah, I think as a group we're usually successful and we're keeping it simple. I think just like winning our battles one-on-one, playing hard, and it makes it a lot easier on us as a defenseman. I mean, the 2 years I've been here, our goaltending has been unbelievable, so it's just gives you that much more confidence with the puck and not being afraid to make a mistake. And so obviously that helps out. And then I think for our group, just keeping it simple, worrying about what our job is, and I think it's been good so far.
Yeah, Hook, what you touched on earlier and like taking pride, I'd never seen it before until last year as a freshman, but I remember my first game at home, we were playing Boston University, and Rivy looked over at you and he goes, Hookie, how many we got tonight? Is Hookie going to have like 7 goals and win us the game? Right. And he goes, 23. And I go, 23? What is he talking about? And I lean over to Reese Zamolak and I go, Reese, what is he talking about? And he goes, oh, that's how many shots we're going to only let up on net tonight. So that's really cool. Like coming in, like I'd never seen that before. And like the way that we take pride in preventing those shots on net, which obviously helps. If you don't get shots on net, you can't score.
Exactly.
So I really thought that was like a cool thing. And you kind of have in the back of your mind the entire game. Like even if a guy's taking a poor angle shot, you're like, let's get up on this guy. Let's get a stick on it. Like let's do anything to prevent it. So there's not even a doubt in any of our minds that they're going to score on this play.
It's actually really cool that like you guys talk like that as well, and you're so connected as a team, and it shows out on the ice that how well you guys work together. I remember last year, it was my first time doing it. I never really like knew hockey as well as I did. So, and to see how well you guys meshed together and worked together and everything, that was like the coolest thing. Edwin, I feel like you have like blocked shots or something, like kind of like a record going on right now. Isn't that a thing?
I don't know about any records, but
probably
something.
Probably. He eats a lot of pucks for sure. I don't know.
Is that what it is? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
That's a lingo.
I thought
eat pucks.
I thought Greg told me something, but I don't. There's so much we talk about. I'm like, I can't remember. But I mean, even if there is, that just shows how like, what is the word I'm looking for? How good you guys are at. This is the goal we have. This is what we're going to do. We're going to keep it out. And like you said, get a stick on it, get a puck on it, get a guy on it. Like anything you do just to prevent any shots.
I think one thing to add to that is like if you're on the bench and you're seeing Hook sacrifice his body or anybody blocking a big shot, like it just makes everybody like that much more into the game and just like brings that camaraderie together. And that sacrifice that he displays is so big for the bench, and the next guy's going out, and just it's kind of a staple in our team.
Yeah, so. Usually when you talk about like energy, like people outside the hockey world probably think like goal, assist, even like a huge hit. But like I think for at this level now, it's more of the, I don't want to say little things because blocking a shot's a unbelievable huge thing, but maybe the thing that the amateur hockey player who watches it just for fun like doesn't realize how big of a play that is. And like Jack said, like Hookie bites one right in the ankle, like that may give the bench more momentum than, you know, like a huge goal or something like that. Like especially as a decor, like when we see that, like that, it just fires you up.
So like talking about like momentum, when you guys have a momentum swing, definitely I feel like it comes down to like the defense, right? Like if you like I said, sacrifice yourself. If anyone sacrifices himself, then that gives just the whole momentum swing, and then you guys go down. Is that like true that if it starts on defense, for sure that you guys like are like, we're gonna take this and we're gonna eventually score? Is that like such a huge thing in hockey, or is it just kind of like we're just working together and then maybe something happens? You guys kind of get what I'm like trying to throw down?
I think a lot of times offense or defense leads the offense. So I mean, especially for like our more offensive forwards, like I think they're learning. Like a lot of them have understood here that like if you play in solid defense, it's going to lead to more offense. So yeah, I think especially like momentum swings is if it's not in our favor, like as a decor, we just gotta be solid and just not let it affect us, and just like play the same every shift, the same way every shift, no matter what, and just not let that stuff affect us. But no, I think a lot of offense obviously is through the rush and playing good defense and causing turnovers, and it'll lead to more offense.
Yeah, I think our coaches really preach defending as five. So you know, all five guys are working hard to defend the puck first, and then that, like Jack said, once all five guys are working together, then that can lead to offense. But you have to defend first a lot of times before you can generate some offense. Yeah,
I think like Hookie said, like when you have five guys committed to defending their five guys in a D zone, and having that urgency to break that puck up fast. You get caught in your D zone for a long shift or not breaking up a puck or not getting the puck out, you're not going to have the energy to go create offense. So to be able to break that puck up fast, and then obviously transition in a way to catch the other team in a vulnerable situation can definitely lead to some big time offense.
Awesome. Well, I think we talked enough about defenseman talk. I think that was great, guys. And for this podcast, I really don't have anything else to talk about because we've covered everything. So thank you guys for coming along and doing this. I really appreciate it. So catch us next week, and we are going to be breaking down the Mount Royal game, and we're going to be heading into Arizona State, which is the 11th and the 12th at the Civic Center. So we will be having some guests come in, and yeah, just stay tuned, guys. This is going to be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. All right, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.